So what drew me towards street art? I didn't want to go to prison. I left school young and I was doing graffiti and I loved graffiti and I felt like graffiti was going to change the world. And then I got arrested loads and loads and loads of times, and the next time I got arrested for painting trains or tagging something, I was going to get sent to prison. I was living in East London and I kind of switched it up a little bit and started doing kind of graffiti but more legible in the daytime, still illegal, and it kind of turned into street art. This was before street art was street art. Yeah, and then, you know, I turned it into a job. I got into graffiti when I was like 14, and I was not into like painting b-boy characters or New York skylines or any of that rubbish. To me, graffiti was about the letter form and twisting and morphing letters and words and a combination of letters to create this like amazing thing that would just annoy everybody else. That's kind of like my fascination with like the letter form evolved into me studying like sign writing, old fonts, like collecting like mad books of fonts, and then kind of designing my own fonts or bettering fonts, not designing my own fonts necessarily, bettering my fonts and making something that I thought, and I'm not always right, that was cool and was better than the last person that did it. And that's kind of what I try to do now with my street art and, you know, when I travel the world and paint stuff. The first wall that I ever painted was this wall, this subway tunnel in Sidcup in Kent, and it said Marvel, and we nicked the paint from like a car shop around the corner, and it was literally terrible. And then like 30 years later, a mate of mine sent me a photograph of it and I was like, that's so bad. But the thing is about what we do is like everybody starts off shit. If you've got the passion and you have the drive and you love it, then eventually you've got to get good. You know, like I started when I was 14, I'm like 55 this year, and it's like, I can't do anything else. I think I've created something that is like, you know, I don't have to tag my stuff. Like, it's me. Like, people know that it's me, whatever I paint. I've basically made a brand. I'm a ponce. I'm a wanker. Gay graffiti. So the two most surreal things that have happened to me is I got a phone call from Downing Street. I gave David Cameron a painting and David Cameron gave that painting to Barack Obama, and that painting hung in the White House for, I don't know, 8 years or whatever, and now Barack Obama's daughter has got it in her flat in Chicago. That's kind of surreal. The other surreal thing is we did a painting by the Olympic Stadium in London, and I know this bird called Trisha, and she worked at NASA, and one belled up Trisha and said, do you know anyone with a satellite? And we got our painting photographed by the International Space Station. I have enough noises going in my head continuously, so I generally paint in silence. But I do have Siri on my phone, so when I don't know where my phone is, I say, hey Siri, play Joy Division. So I would say Joy Division and Ian Curtis. Digital. It comes in waves. You got projects like this where, you know, you get to paint something and then someone comes and paints that over there, which is graffiti. Like, this is street art or art, and that's graffiti. And it's like, which one do you prefer? And it's like, I always say, I like graffiti, but just not on my house, on somebody else's house. Graffiti gives kids who don't have a voice an alter ego and an opportunity to like spread their wings and be heard and make something out of themselves that they wouldn't have the opportunity to do. So what do I prefer, like legal art or breaking the law art? I think I prefer breaking the law art. Probably a drug dealer or an Uber driver. Nothing. Like, someone said to me, you know, go paint the Great Wall of China, and it's like, it took them 4,000 years to make. Like, I don't want an infinite way. I like a wall that takes a day. Francis Bacon, Maurizio Catalan, or Adolf Hitler. AI. Yeah, AI. My guilty pleasure is probably holiday tattoos. Obviously, I've got a couple of tattoos. Everywhere I go, I like to get a holiday tattoo. So I'm a bit like an old leather suitcase covered in stickers. Cure cancer? I don't know. I don't think I'd like a republic. It sounds like dictatory. I think I prefer somewhere where people just chilled, got along, and did right. Bogota, I think, because I think that part of Colombia has got an amazing culture, amazing food, amazing music, like a rap industry, a clothing industry, and like great street artists and artists. So, and I think it's important, I've always felt that it was important to go to places, you know, like I've been to Madagascar, yeah, China, blah, blah, etc. I think it's important to give people the opportunity to explore and experience places that they wouldn't necessarily go to. So yeah, Bogota, because it's like risky, dangerous, mad, fun, and they've got, yeah, great culture. So yeah, Colombia. So Ryans have been great. Like, I think this is the third time that I've been to Ibiza. And I've only ever been here for work. So I did something a few years ago, and I did something at Pikes or somewhere. And my son lives around the corner, so we're staying at a cool hotel. We've painted a cool, like a great wall, and I get to see my eldest child. And like, how can you moan? Like, look at the weather. So Ibiza, for crying out loud, motherfucker.